Hi, everyone. Just want to say we're so excited to play in the New Year's Day Bowl against a great opponent in Penn State University. And it's been a exciting day for us and the University of Arkansas, our program. So uh, can't wait to get down there to the sunshine of Tampa, Florida, and eat a couple of blooming onions. So with that, I'll take some questions.
All right, raise your hand or let me know in the chat if you've got questions. Tom, get us going.
Sure. Hey, Sam, I wonder if you've crossed paths much with James Franklin over the years and just what you maybe think of his style of teams.
No, I haven't. I'm not. I've met Coach Franklin, but I don't know him much better than that. Just a lot of really positive things that people who have worked with him have said about him. Highly successful guy, highly intelligent guy, great football mind. Certainly, Penn State's one of the storied programs in the country. Coach Loggins worked up there last year before the summer as an analyst. Before we were able to hire him back, he probably would know a little bit more, be able to answer your question better.
Yeah, and then in terms of just motivation for a bowl, where do you think your team will stand in terms of getting to a Florida-based bowl and just the motivation of this postseason?
Well, I think they're unbelievably excited. I mean, there's not many of them in there that's been to a bowl. So, to get to a New Year's Day bowl and one as prestigious as the Outback Bowl, they'll be ready. They'll be excited to make practice a little bit easier for them, I would say, Tom.
Dre?
Hey, Coach. Just curious, when you guys found out that it was the Outback Bowl, how did you disperse the information to the rest of the team and coaches, and what was the reaction like?
Well, I wish I'd had opportunity, Trey, to do some of those things. I think Twitter and Google or whatever had it out before I found out about it, before really it was out. And then Hunter called me and told me we were going to get the invite to the Outback Bowl and they'd be calling in a few minutes. And I said, that's awesome. And, we'd had several official visits in, so they were wrapping up, getting ready to leave. And then I just came out of a home visit now. So I haven't had a lot of time. I was able to talk to the officials at the Outback Bowl, and they extended the offer. And of course, Mr. Sankey called from the SEC, obviously, and extended that. But, whenever they said Outback Bowl, I was proud of that. I'm proud of our football team, our coaches, our assistant coaches, and I was proud of it, very happy. But we didn't send anything out to the team because Lord knows we know they look at their phones all the time. So I'm sure they already knew it.
With this transition, you guys are in it right now in recruiting these next 10 days, especially. And when do you move to transition to start actually preparing for Penn State? Because, you also have to do some research on them.
Yeah, we're going to practice this week, Friday, Saturday. And then Monday will be our prep day, which means the kids won't be in, our coaches will. It's first day of, dead period. We'll practice the rest of that week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Be off that weekend, and then we'll practice up to Wednesday at noon. We'll practice in the morning on Wednesday, the 23rd, let the kids off 23rd, 24th, 25th. And then the 26th is our travel day to Tampa. So we'll take our team picture in our suits like we said we would with the 3 trophies and get on the plane and fly out there. And then we'll basically, the game's on Saturday, Trey. Now, the question, and then we'll have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday type regular week. The question was, when will we start on Penn State? Probably not until the 20th. I think these first 6 practices will be just nothing but ourselves. I think if we start talking about Penn State and practicing about Penn State earlier than that, I think we could have negative results when we get there. So we'll have a segment or two that week before Christmas, and then we'll rev up certainly full-fledged when we get down to Tampa.
Hutch?
Yeah, Sam, you mentioned Coach Loggins coming from Penn State. Was he there long enough at all to where you'd be able to pick his brain at all while preparing for them?
You know, I haven't seen Dow since. Well, that's not true. He came in and was excited about the bowl, and I was walking out to do a home visit. But that would certainly be something we'd talk to him about to see. Might be more personnel driven than anything, but certainly we would ask him about. We have 12 videos, 12 films, 12 games as well, but he might know something a little bit more about personnel.
And then also, do you anticipate having everyone available for the bowl game? Has anyone indicated that they might not want to play or anything like that?
I think we'll have everybody, but I really don't know. We've got a lot of kids just because somebody else does it. I don't think they look at that. The opt-out deal became popular. There was a whole bunch more opt in though. And if you really look at it, nobody opts out for a playoff game because they don't want to hurt the team. I feel like we've got a whole lot of kids on our team that wouldn't opt out simply because they don't want to hurt the team. So as of right now, I don't have anyone that I know of that is willing to opt out of the team, of the game.
Nate?
With how much hitting we all do since you've had such a grueling season, what do you do and what do you do it when, and also just how much scrimmaging will you do with the reserves and younger players?
Well, we'll do some hitting and some scrimmaging with the young kids. Friday, Saturday won't be really physical on our older guys. Maybe we want to get timing of throwing and catching and things back, and some conditioning with the older guys. Young guys will hit obviously throughout this process more than the older guys. And of course, until you get around, 8 to 10 days out from the game. But we may look at some guys at different positions and different things like that. Just try to use a little bit more spring ballish, but not with the physicality of it with the older guys. We won't take our good players to the party.
Thanks.
Dudley?
Obviously, y'all got the 8th win against Missouri and then got a chance to get out on the road recruiting. Just what was the reception like? And, I guess with the New Year's Day bow under your belt now, that'll be something else to show out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's went really well. I think I have good recruiters on our staff, and the reception's been, the Hogs strong out there across the country. And I've been out on the road myself, several different states and in different high schools, and the reception has been unbelievable, and very pleased with where we're at. And you're right, winning has helped us, and we'll certainly use this bowl invite to our advantage as well.
Bob?
Hey Sam, how you doing? I saw you walking in. I saw you walking on MLK today. You weren't walking to a home visit, were you?
No, but I came back real quick. I had to, and then we had to deal with shot with Hunter, and it's been fast now.
Yeah, you look like you're moving at a good clip. Hey, Arkansas has been to a ton of bowls, played a ton of teams, so there aren't a whole lot of firsts left. But I think this is the first time Arkansas has ever played in the Outback. I think it's the first time Arkansas has ever played Penn State. So what do you think about those two things?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something the kids have accomplished, assistants, coaches have accomplished, and I mean, I don't know that they accomplished us playing Penn State, but I think that just happened. But I'm excited to play a team like Penn State. I mean, a lot of tradition there, good football coach, good players. So I'm happy for the state of Arkansas. You know, I'm happy for the get down there and get us some nice weather. I heard it's 82 or something today. Get down there, have a little fun.
And then, Grant Morgan will be at the Burlsworth deal tomorrow night. I guess it's still a banquet. It's a night thing now. Are you going to be able to go to that? And two, just obviously you're pulling for Grant. He's up for it again. Just how do you feel about Grant? The
Yeah,
Burlsworth?
certainly I hope he wins it. I'm getting ready to fly out to a home visit, and we'll come back. We got a team meeting tomorrow at 5, and then we've got graduation reception at 6:30. So I'll hit that early, and then we'll run up. Jamie and I will run up to the Burlsworth Award, and certainly I'm rooting for him. That doesn't mean you're rooting against others, but certainly I'm rooting for him. I love to see a kid from University of Arkansas win the Burlsworth Award.
Thanks, Sam.
Mhm.
All right, let me know if you've got questions in the chat or raise your hand. Tom?
Bob kind of stole my Grant Morgan thing, but he's also up for that Campbell Trophy in Vegas. So just if you could encapsulate briefly, maybe just how important he's been for the team this season, who he is.
Great leader, speaks well. He's going to be a great coach if that's what he wants to do. I've said that before. But, he's I hope he's as happy that he came back as, us coaches are that he did. I hope he feels the same way about him coming back that we do. And we're very honored that he came back. I hope he wins every award that he's going for. Because I know there's deserving kids out there, but he deserves every one that he's up for. And we love him, and we'll be there. I'll be there for the Burlsworth. I won't be able to go to Vegas, but we'll have representation down there. Coach Shear is going to go as well as I think Mr. Yurchek.
Was he a little bit dinged up during the course of the year?
Yeah, he's beat up a little bit with different injuries. It wasn't quite as smooth for him as it was a year ago, even though he got hurt there towards the end of the year. But he's a physical guy. Linebackers are going to get dinged up, and he played through it. But yeah, he had several different nagging injuries.
Yeah, my last question is this. If you look at the landscape of college football, people would say your salary would be due a nice raise. And you changed representation here recently. Just your thoughts about maybe heading into that next phase.
That's between you hire agents so you don't lose relationships. It might seem easy to go in and walk in and say, hey, Hunter, how am I doing? You don't want to lose those relationships. To me, when I came here, it was about getting the head coaching job at Arkansas, and it's still not money based. When you go out and get an agent, one that understands the whole landscape of the building, you want help to keep your assistant coaches. You want help to keep your support staff. You want help personally. And I don't look at that as being greedy or anything. I look at that as being represented. And because the bottom line is there's no agent that you get that's going to say, hey, university, you need to pay a man this much money. And the university says, oh, okay. It's called negotiation. And then the last thing I'll say is that I don't want my loyalty to the university to be tested. I've said that I would never leave the University of Arkansas, and I'm not going to. And getting an agent doesn't mean that I'm leaving. Getting a new agent has nothing to do with that. I've said this is my last job, and it's damn sure going to be that.
Thanks.
Jordan?
Hey, Coach. I'm in
Hi,
Florida,
Jordan.
so I'll try to hold down some of the sunshine for you. in a couple.
Well, it looks good. You're already there. Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back before. From your experience, how do you manage the celebration of a bowl with also wanting to get another win, kind of doing all of that fun celebratory stuff with also getting your team prepared?
We're in such a great spot here. And we haven't been to a bowl, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're at a university, and if they're not in the college playoffs, it's hard to get them fired up about going to a New Year's Day bowl. It's hard but for us, I think it's going to be very, very easy to get our kids excited about going to Tampa and playing on New Year's Day in the Outback Bowl. So we're really happy about that. It's a nationally known bowl, and really nice. I mean, have you looked it up? I mean, it's a really neat place. We're going to get to stay, a lot of events for the kids. But the bottom line is we're going to win. And I'm sure Penn State is as well. But it's going to be a great game. And we'll go out there, and we have coaches and the head coach and players that know that the only good bowl is if when you win it. And that's what we're trying to get done.
Thank you.
Ty?
Hey, Coach. I'm not as familiar with the recruiting rules, but I saw that Jaden just announced that he's going to come to the University of Arkansas. Are you allowed to comment on him at all?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Greg?
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Greg.
Coach, everyone from a head coaching perspective has different ways they balance recruiting and the bowl game. How do you guys do it at the University of Arkansas in terms of going to see recruits and home visits versus getting ready for a bowl game?
Well, you know, it's fairly easy right now because this will be our last week that we can go out before the dead period, Greg. So we're full-fledged ahead recruiting. Friday we'll practice, but that is just going to be I would like to call it maybe a early fall camp type practice. Saturday will as well. We'll incorporate that in time-wise with our official visits that we have this Friday and Saturday. And then after that, the phone calls and the letters and the texts and all those things of recruiting will certainly continue. Wednesday would be your only really trouble. We're going to practice on signing day. That would be a little bit of I thought we did it at Georgia as well. I thought that might be a little problem, but to be honest with you, by 7:30 in the morning on National Signing Day, you have, if not all of your scholarship guys, the guys going to sign with you, you have at least 90% of them is already in, and you can go about your day, whether they are going to wait to announce it on TV at 1 or whatever the case is. You usually already have that piece of paper and don't have quite the stress of waiting till 1 o'clock would be. So not really a whole lot. We're full-fledged this week and then practice Friday, Saturday in a non-Penn State type practice.
Dudley?
Yeah, obviously the NCAA has the new rule with being allowed to bring some guys in that go out of the portal. You've had a couple of guys, I guess, who announced they're going into the portal. Do you have a guesstimate now on maybe how many you might bring in during this early period, or is it just continue to be fluid?
It's going to be fluid, and I know that's not the answer. That probably you're asking it for a little bit more specific, and I appreciate that. A lot of it's just going to be on how many kids decide to enter the portal. You can replace up to 7. And so a lot of it depends on that. Certainly, I'm not a fool to think that we won't have kids that enter the portal, being certainly because of playing time, maybe, not being able to get on the field, maybe feeling they may not be able to get on the field. And like I said before, if that's the reason, I'm all for it. They should go somewhere where they can play. But that's going to be kind of fluid because we'll have to wait and see. And certainly there won't be a lot of talks about that until we get back. I'm gonna have a team meeting tomorrow. I wouldn't expect that to come up then, but somewhere after signing date, I'd say is when we'll sit down and talk to some of the kids, see what they want to do.
Appreciate it.
Hutch,
Yeah, Sam, you mentioned guys possibly going in the portal. It's my understanding that the 7 extra scholarships that you can get, it only applies if people enter the portal on December 15th or later. I don't know if you can correct me on that. So how do you handle the timing of some of that? Because I know a lot of guys are already entering the portal. How does that process go?
Well, you can't really tell a kid when to go to the portal and when not to. I think the bottom line is that I don't know why the rule's in there that way, but I would assume it's in there somewhat so they would finish the semester academically. Might have something to do with it, or where coaches wouldn't run kids off, before they finished academically. I'm not positive. I don't know that answer there, but yeah, you and I understand the rule the same way.
And then also, I know Dominique was battling a leg injury in the Missouri game. Have you had a chance to talk to him at all? How's he doing? And is there any other health updates you can provide?
He's fine. I don't believe I'm trying to think here. I saw Chavis. He's back. He'll be ready to go. I think besides the season-ending injuries we've had, I think everybody else will, at least today, we're not going to just run out there in T-shirts all 15 practices. So, but I think today, we're in pretty good shape.
last one, Trey.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, you got some guys that are probably want to know what the NFL thinks of them. How does that process work for requesting feedback from the NFL? How many guys can do that? Has it changed any since it's kind of a different circumstance now?
Yeah, I mean, no NFL team wants you to say, hey, on our board, he is this, and get it out there, because obviously you're messing with trade secrets about where they have a guy ranked. We have, obviously we're good to scouts. They're good to us. They can look at their board, let us know where they're at. And we, I did that last year. I've already done that this year, and had an opportunity to sit down and talk to some guys about where they're projected in the draft. Not an agent talking to them about, you're a first rounder and you're really a 6th rounder on the draft board. We're telling them the truth about what comes off of somebody's draft board. And I usually try to get half the teams. This year I've gotten about 20.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, Coach. I'll wrap it up.
Go Hogs. Blooming onions, baby.